Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. Today, we're going to be going over 3 great decks. As always, I'm also going to tell you how to win both season passes and when you can win my very last PAX Captain America card and card back. Cool. We are giving away 15 season passes, just as we always do. We're giving away 11 right now. So, first, in order to enter right here on the YouTube, all you have to do is sub, like, and comment. Any comments on a video from last Friday straight to tomorrow's video will carry a giveaway. Every single comment sections will have one giveaway winner, which means that's 6 videos because we did 2 videos on Saturday. So if you comment, you are entered to win a season pass as long as you're subbed. Nice and easy. You can also check Twitter. The Twitter algorithm has decided to be mad at me and not show the giveaway to nearly as many people as usual. Literally like 15,000 fewer people have seen it. So we've got far fewer entries. So if you want to check it out, at SnapJudgeCast on Twitter, all you have to do is go find the pin tweet and do what it says. All right, we're giving away one more PAX code in tomorrow's video. What you have to do is ring that notification bell so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Watch it, do what that video says, and then you will get a chance to win my very last PAX code. As always, more giveaways to come. We do more giveaways, bigger giveaways than anyone in Marvel Snap. All right, the Italians, who are currently the best meta game in the world, are having an Infinite Series, a weekend round-robin tournament. Participating in that tournament are 8 of the top players in the world. Geo was 3rd in the World Championships and is often at the top of Infinite Ladder, has literally finished 1 or 2 several seasons. Pokebonesy is the current #1 player on Infinite Ladder with frickin' Phoenix Force. Demian is a regular top 10 player and friend. Hey Demian. Urban is a player I don't know, but an excellent player. Comies won the frickin' World Championship. Googly is another top 10 player in the world. He's the streamer of the bunch. Lupo J. Snappa is a player who's finished 4th or 5th several different seasons and is yet again a phenomenal player. And Marielle is a great player that I don't know. So these are some of the best players, and they're exclusively sending us their decks. Cool? Now, this week was unfortunately a little bit boring. What everyone played largely, we saw 4 decks that we've talked about. We've got the classic bog standard discard, the classic bog standard destroy, the classic bog standard Thanos, and the classic Phoenix Force. And then Comies has a move deck that we talked about 2 weeks ago when we did this the first time. Cool. So everything else is known. However, today's cool list is from .geo. It's actually from BBAK, an Asian player. This is a Mr. Negative list. Let's talk about why we're talking about this Mr. Negative list today. So this is like your absolute standard Mr. Negative list. And I told you we're only going to talk about interesting lists, right? Well, this negative list is the exact standard, what you would expect if you asked someone to tell you what Mr. Negative to play. No one that I know of any of the major players, not Cam, not Cozy, not anyone, has this in their top tier of Marvel Snap decks. How frickin' ever. Not only is .geo 2-0 against Googly and literally the world champion playing the meta Thanos deck with this deck this weekend, but BBAK was #1 in February with this deck and is currently the #3 ranked player playing, as far as I'm aware, exclusively this list on ladder. That means that this is real, right? We're all doing something wrong. So I'm going to explain the basics of how to play this, and my goal here is, since this can be this huge climber, we know this can put out more power than anything. You just have to have discipline, retreat when it's not working, play to your outs when it is working. You can win with this, right? You can win an absolutely insane amount of cubes. Let's get there. Cool. Let's learn how to play this right. Let's make this deck, which is clearly a frickin' meta deck, right? Like, it doesn't finish #1, then #3, and win games in the tournament of the best players by accident. So this is clearly a deck that can be a top deck. Let's look at how. Things to know. Null is needed, as is Ravonna. Zabu is very unneeded and can be Psylocke, and might actually even be better as Psylocke, because Ravonna will make Psylocke cheaper. All right, this is just worth playing. Now let's have some discipline and see if we can make this work, me included. I've always been a negative hater, but I think it's worth knowing, again, that this is real. So let's start with turn 1, you have to pass because you have no 1-drops. Turn 2, Ravonna is better than Zabu, and I'm going to explain that quickly. So Zabu hits negative and Wonk, right? Ravonna hits Ironheart, Mystique, negative, Iron Man, Zola, and Null. Cool, that's 6 hits. 6 is a lot more than 2. especially because you can get combos off without negative if you have Ravonna out. Ravonna is fundamentally your alternate win condition for this deck. All good? All good. Okay, so turn 3, you would really like to negative. If you do, please snap. That's better than Ravonna, is better than Zabu, which is better than Wong. Getting Wong out early isn't great because the only thing you're really going to Wong into early is you might Wong into Ironheart or you might Wong into Mystique. If you think you're going to take that play line, you can Wong early, but otherwise it's not really a priority. There is a decent number of wins by going Wong, Mystique, and then getting some other stuff out, and then dropping an Ironheart on there, because it's just a lot of power, right? If you can go Panther and then get a card elsewhere and then get Ironheart, you've got a shot. All right. That's not really what Wong's here though. If negative, you play Jane and get like the 5/0 cost cards in this deck, or whichever you haven't drawn. If you played Wong, you play Panther. That's the real reason Wong's here. Wong, Panther, Zola still wins a lot of games to snap. If your opponent doesn't have an answer, you win. Turn 6, if negative, you just go off. You can Zola on Panther, you can Zola on Null. If you can get like an early Shang off, right, and then you can Null Zola, you're just in wonderful shape. You can just Null Zola and be fine anyway. You can Zola Iron Man as well. You can use Mystique to copy Null or Iron Man. You can drop Ironheart on Wong. You just go wild. Nothing in the game except the occasional Tribunal deck goes as big as this. Nothing is as tall. Cool? All right, one last look at it. Again, my challenge for my viewers is this deck with Discipline can clearly be a top-notch deck. This can be one of the best decks in Marvel Snap. Let's make it so. All good? Please hit that sub, hit that like, hit that comment. We bring you 7 days of Marvel Snap content, the biggest giveaways, the most exclusive decks, long podcasts, bundle guides, everything you need for your Marvel Snap journey can be found here. Please hit that sub button, hit that like, hit that comment, and watch for as long as you can because it helps the YouTube algorithm show us to more people. We're 200 people away from 10,000 subscribers, and your help and support in getting there would mean the world to us. All right, Chris asks what other card games I play. I played 2 other card games at any real length in my life. I played a Game of Thrones, the living card game, both first edition and second edition. It was my main game. I played it for like 8 years. I loved it very much, especially when I hated it. They're both gone. The only remotely card adjacent thing I play right now is Slay the Spire besides this. Alduk asks about physical card games and if I miss them. So not really. I don't like regular meetups. I don't like having to keep track of paper. I don't like having to build, sleeve, and create decks. What I do miss is going to tournaments, and then after tournaments, going out to drink and having a good time with my friends. That was an absolute blast. I loved it very much. That being gone makes me sad, but we've got Brooklyn coming up this weekend. If you want to know more about that, if you're from New York, let me know in the comments. It's a live Marvel Snap tournament that I'm going to. Super Tech God's going to. Parent Manilow, a bunch of people are going to. Doug Pye, so on and so forth. So try and be there if you can, if you're from New York, and I'm going to have to take the train because I want to go see if I can get a group to go to karaoke after. All right, SD Don't Be Evil asks which supervillain is the best mastermind. So in all of comics, like not counting indie books, in all superhero comics, I think it's Lex Luthor. He becomes president. He often succeeds. He only fails when he attacks Superman, really. Otherwise, he is basically corporate America and, unfortunately, stupidly effective. In Marvel, almost every major mastermind sort of has their own hubris as their downfall. In every case, I think Sinister, after Sins of Sinister, is the most successful, where he fundamentally uses Krakoa to take over the universe, which, falls apart, but because, of course, it does. But hey, it's a level of success most supervillains can only dream of. My favorite superhero mastermind is Sunspot, and if you don't know, you need to read some more Sunspot comics. He is a phenomenal mastermind. All right, Evas, not Evans, asks the weakest archetype and why it can't compete at Tier 1. This hurts to say. I think the weakest, real archetype right now is Bounce. I don't think Pure Bounce has any home. I think Pure Bounce tops out occasionally at 26, 28 power without really favorable locations. An absolute ton of locations kill it. Its scalers aren't good enough. I think Bounce is probably the weakest. It wants to scale, and every scaler was nerfed. If you'd like your question read out in tomorrow's video, please leave one in the comments. By the way, you can hit infinite with anything. It doesn't matter if it's Tier 1 or Tier 4. I promise you can hit infinite if you play well. All right, Owl God is our favorite Korean streamer. We talked about Owl God's first deck. with which he climbed from rank 40,000 to rank 300 in Saturday's video. If you missed it, please check that out. This is the deck that climbed from like 360 to rank 67 or something silly like that. It's really good. It's also one of the best Gene Gray decks I've ever played. The best since the Gene Surfer Evolutionary that I got an infinite border with that one season, that Fozzer deck. Hey, Fozzer. So, I love this deck. You should try it. You can find Owldog, Owlgod, he goes by both, at youtube.com/@Owldog. Please go subscribe. He's trying to get to 500 subs. He's one of the best players in the world. He should have more than that. So Saturday's deck, in 19 hours over 3 days, in 360 games, which breaks my brain, was 64% and climbed well over 42,000 ranks. Cool. This one has done, just a little less than 300 ranks, but it's from 363 to 67, and it also, just for good measure, won an infinity border on the way. Turn 4, you need Hope, Zabu, War Machine, and Gene for the deck. Jeff or Nebula can be Nightcrawler, and Iron Lad is my least favorite card in the deck, so replace it at your leisure. You can try Enchantress or Drax, and I'm just going to tell you why I don't like Iron Lad here. Iron Lad is a dead hit on Infinite and Crossbones. It's often a dead hit on Hope and Shang, and it's an absolutely terrible hit on Kitty Pryde or Ebony Maw. So that's a lot of downside for that Iron Lad, which means I don't love it in the deck. Enchantress and Drax are where I would go for replacements. Alright, so turn 1 is Nebula over Kitty. Turn 2, Zabu is better than Nebula, who's better than Kitty. Both of those cards are better than Jeff. Turn 3 is Hope, is better than Gene, and you don't Gene in every matchup. You Gene basically when your opponent's clearly playing big things and not going to be able to keep up. Turn 4, Gene or Lad or Kitty. So you play Gene if it's going to win you the game. You play Lad if one of the bad targets isn't there. Or you can drop Kitty and Jeff on Hope for the extra energy. Or you can drop War Machine on Hope and just go Infinite if you don't think they have Shang. Turn 5 Infinite if you did that. Or you can play 2 4s. If you played Zabu and then Hope, and then you played 1 card on Hope, you now have 6 energy, which means you can play 2 4s. You can go, for example, War Machine and Iron Lad, War Machine and Shang, War Machine and Crossbones. If you do that, and War Machine is one of those cards, you can go Infinite with Ebony Maw on the last turn, or you can just do the it's last turn and I played Zabu nonsense, where you go like Shang and War Machine or Shang and Crossbones and try and win that way. All good? All good. Last chance review for Hope Summers. Hope Summers is a must-buy. She is must-buy to the point where I'm doing an extra giveaway, where I just completed in this video an extra giveaway to give away 1 more, but I'm giving away 2 Hope Summer Season Passes. Hey, if you're watching this, Sasha, I'm Coyotes51, you need to email right away with a screenshot and your Snap ID. Let me know who you are, and I will get you that Hope Summers. This is not transferable to next season, so you have a day to get this to me. Hope is must-have. She is in the best deck, the Thanos deck, and if the Thanos deck gets nerfed, she's in the next best deck, and the next best deck, and the next best deck. She's in everything. She's one of the most important cards. She's going to remain one of the most important cards. I don't know if she's balanced or not. I can't decide, but I do know that for your enjoyment of Marvel Snap and ability to play a lot of decks, you should go get Hope Summers. I do not think you should go get War Machine unless you have an overabundance of resources. He is a very good card, a very fun card. He is specifically for, if you really like Lockdown, you should get War Machine. If you really love Infinite, like our friend Super Tech God, you should get War Machine. Cool? If you are just a regular old person, otherwise, you do not need War Machine for any real reason. He's a good card. He was far and away voted the #1 card of the month. He does not compare to Hope Summers or Mockingbird. One of those two is #1. Those are 2 of the 5 best cards in the game at worst. I don't think he's better than Cannonball. Most people I know that have both don't think he's better than Cannonball, which means he's better than Pixie. There'll probably be better cards next month. I suggest you save your caches. All right. Our final deck is from our friend Buddy. Buddy used to be featured all the time, sort of fell out of love with Snap this month, and this deck brought him back because it's a freaking blast. What it ultimately allows you to do is it allows you to play both Valkyrie and a 6 in Patriot, which is always a problem. It's always really hard to do that, but this deck says no problem. You can find Buddy at twitter.com/BuddyLee. For this deck, you need Mockingbird, and again, please buy Hope. You're going to be complaining forever if you don't. If you can at all afford it, do it. And that's all the high series cards here. All right, turn 1 is whatever. Turn 2, you go Dazzler over Mysterio, unless Mockingbird is in hand. Cool. If you see me look down like awkwardly, I recorded this video and it had no audio and from the middle on, so I'm double checking that the audio is still working. All right, so turn 2, Dazzler over Mysterio, unless you know you're going to want a Mockingbird, or yeah, basically that's it. Turn 3, Hope over Patriot. Turn 4, Patriot or Mockingbird on Hope. You can also play one of your ones here if you can afford it. Turn 5, you want to play your 6. You either want to Onslaught on Patriot or drop Doom on Patriot. Cool. Turn 6, you want to play Valkyrie and 2 1s or a 2. Or Blue Marvel the same way. If you didn't see Hope, then you reverse turns 5 and 6. I know it says 5 and 4. That's a mistake. All good? All good. I love this deck. I played the crap out of it. I got 1 win from an Infinity ticket with it, not Infinity Border, an Infinity ticket with it. I ran straight into a deck that ran both Enchantress and Killmonger, and those are hard counters. But outside of that, it was doing stellar work. I think this deck is excellent. Please play it, give it a try. I don't think you'll regret it. All right, certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. Abigail Giesling, Mandatory Burnout, Cables, David G. Wingfield, Direwolf, LAB, Fothor Newman, Good Dog Gamer, Inc., Jane Everett, J.D. McDonaldino, Kiritix Lee, Koi Ray, KCH, Doku, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins, Rob Silverman, Juan Diego Lebed, The Bizza, X-Force V, Skippy G, Tommy Nyquist, Black Dahlia, The Great Kazoo, Jessica Gamble, Ryan Wood, Models, William Tunez, Matt H., Mikey Hijinks, No Flex, Ocularis, Craig Sterry, Pretty Chill, Seamus, Spike Jones, Two Ties, The Pirate King Tucker, I'll be on his stream tonight, talking about the new season, trying to craft some decks and stuff. The Homie Min, and of course, Gunny T, and where the T is for tournament. Thanks so much for watching. It's take 2 of this video. We'll see you tomorrow, where we're going to go over the entire frickin' new season at great length. And again, that's your chance to win a PAX Pass. We give away 2 exclusive PAX Passes to our Patreons at the $10 tier, where we do exclusive giveaways there. Check out the Patreon. We have all sorts of good stuff. For just $1, you get access to tournaments. Don't think you'll regret it. Either which way, you made it this far. Hit that sub button, hit that like, hit that comment. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow for a much more in-depth snap take as we go over the next season. Zeros to heroes, baby. Peace.